A good afternoon to you, our esteemed viewer. It's a pleasure knowing that you are right there watching Flourishing Hub. Yeah, this is Flourishing Hub because we want to give the young people the right mind, the right mindset, because you realize this is the most vulnerable age group. So everyone is targeting the young people, the youth. That is why if they're not given the right mindset, then they're in trouble, or we are in trouble. This is our generation, and we have to really make the good use of each opportunity that we get. But Flourishing Hub is brought to you by Young and Flourishing Foundation. Young and Flourishing Foundation is built on 4 pillars that are really very, very important if you are to thrive. One is money. Of course, we all need money. Yeah, it's the reason you wake up, leave your home, go and work. But like they say, before long, a fool and their money will part. That is why you really need to know how to work for that money, how to invest it, but also, how to save it, but also how to invest it, because that is really very important. The second pillar is daring, and then mentorship, because we need people who inspire us, people who have walked the journey we want to walk, to give us direction. But also the last pillar is strategy. If you do not have a strategy, if you do not have a plan for your life, trust me, you'll always be in other people's plans. So that is why strategy is really very, very important. But here we are. Edwin Austin Mukalas is my name, and of course I'm sitting in for Luke Majumba Alina Yotwe, who will be with us next time. Today we are talking about something very, very important in business, and we are looking at something so pertinent to do with building clients. But with us is a guest. He's a man of a very long portfolio, if I can put. But this is none other than Nicholas Katushabe. Nicholas Katushabe is a Ugandan. Of course, some of you refer to him as Master Quest, and he's an entrepreneur, he's an author, he's a social commentator, and he's a consultant from economic, social issues, citizenry, and human transcendence. He radically creates strategies, publishes books and programs, initiates concepts and ventures that elevate key systems for shaping the future. Wow. Like I said, Nicholas is a man of a very long portfolio. Of recent, he actually hosted the 4 Awards 2024. He'll also tell us what those awards were about. And there is a lot that we really need to know, and we have to learn from Nicholas. I will request you to allow me welcome him. Nicholas, it's a pleasure having you here on Flourishing Hub.
Thanks for hosting me.
Yeah, we are really excited.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, when you talk about the very long portfolio,
Yeah, sure.
people get a little scared. They're like, who is this man with?
Yeah, sure.
But they're not seeing any gray hair.
In Uganda, they say, amagezi bukadde.
Okay.
Yeah.
How have you been?
I've been well.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
kindly
trying to
greet
push
our viewers, and then we shall get into our topic.
Yes, good afternoon, all viewers on Family TV. They already introduced me. My name is Nicholas Katushabe. In the common space, I'm called Mr. Quest. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm an author, I'm a social commentator, and I'm also an SME consultant. He talked about the 4 awards. 4 awards, the Founder of the Year awards, are organized by Founder of the Year Foundation, which is an East African organization based in Nairobi. So in January we are nominated because they were nominating people from different countries. And Founder of the Year award celebrates individuals and people who have started up initiatives, companies, or any other kind of program that one, creates impact within the region of East Africa, and then 2, that also inspires other people to take up big dreams, to be daring, and to look far beyond. So we are nominated, of course, a very big line of people from Tanzania, from Rwanda, from Kenya, from Uganda, and it was a little competitive because it was mainly too. However much 60% was based on public votes, but 40% was based on research and vetting and all that. So we went to Westlands, Kenya, and to the ward on 26th last month, and I came out to be the founder of the year over 30.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
You're
Someone would also want to know why people refer you to as Mr. Quest.
Quest is a wrong search for meaning in life, if I may just want to break it up. So because my story is quite wrong, of course I can't go through it, but having grown up as a disadvantaged child and grown up looking for ideas that help me and help my peers get up, so I think that's how it came. And my friend used to say, hey, you have a very wrong quest for life. So along the way it turned out that I became Quest, and people started referring to me as Mr. Quest.
Sure. So you're looking at scaling up your business, and we really trust that you're the right person to take us through this. Not the fact that you are a consultant.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe if we can talk about, if we can start away from to our discussions today,
Yeah, sure.
scaling up in your business according to your profile, and as an award-winning entrepreneur who is also passionate about serving business of impact.
Yeah, sure.
What do you define as high-end clients to SMEs?
Now, our business ecosystem is structured this way that we have very few high corporations. High corporations mean multinationals. So most of our businesses are MSMEs, which are micro, small, and medium enterprises.
Okay.
And just like traditionally call them businesses, but of course there is a classification of this MSM something. But basically, regardless of the category you belong to, businesses are like our lives. They start from somewhere. You start a business with just a dream and an idea. Just like we get born, you don't have strong arms, you don't have strong legs, you can't do this until you reach this certain level. So the same with businesses. And every business starts somewhere.
Okay.
When you're starting up, every business person will tell you when they are starting up, you don't have the audacity to refuse some revenue sometimes because you are trying to survive. However much you have the capital, however much you have everything set up, but there is something called customers, revenue. You can't have it because it's created by a different total system. You may have even know the capital required to start up a business, but it doesn't mean that the moment you put it up, it will thrive. You've seen many put up 1 year, you no longer see them. Because here
some even less than a year.
Yes, exactly. So here is the thing. They have not mastered how to attract high-end clients. And now here, high-end clients, we are not talking about only the money, because there are many rich people who may come and pay you. But high-end clients must be classified in 3 categories, inseparable categories. They must, to say I have a high-end client, you must have 3 things in this client. 1, they are ideal. Ideal, I mean, they have an open and transparent way of interacting with them.
Okay.
If I walked into their office, there is no bureaucracy, their system is open, the discussion is open, the negotiations are open. And 2, they focus much on quality, meaning they pay for quality. They don't pay for the common price in the market. They pay for the quality, for the value you offer.
Okay.
So they focus on much what are you offering. If you can define the value you're offering, they can also stretch their budgets to give you what they can do. And another thing, they focus on sustainability. They are clients who are focusing on mutual growth, not you. So this is, of course, this is debatable. Some businesses may not have all these 3 things in place, especially maybe if you are a trader, you buy and sell, you may not focus much on these strategies.
True.
But remember, as you buy and sell, whether you're a hawker or a small shop, your goal is also to grow and become a big distributor, a big warehouse, a big supermarket. If you're a small service provider, your goal is also to grow, have a big office, have more customers, more employees, and ahead. So these ideal high-end clients must be ideal. They must pay for the value offer, and they must also be focused on mutual growth, sustainability. So that's how I define high-end clients. And every business at some level must grow to a level where they can say, now the only clients we want to serve are high-end clients. These are clients who are ideal, who have open purchasing systems, who have enabling payment policies, who have open negotiation policies. They pay for the value, they pay for what you give in the market, not what they feel. They pay for what you're giving away. And they also look on how you're going to grow together.
Okay.
So this is how I may define high-end clients.
So someone would really ask, why are they important? Why should every business at least have these high-end clients?
Because I say, as I said, every business to be sustainable, to grow, to get somewhere, it's sustained by revenue specifically.
Yes.
And this revenue, it also must also be sustainable. I'm using the word sustainability several times because most of our youth and young entrepreneurs focus on hit quick.
Exactly.
They call it tuchikube, nachikuba, something like that. So, but you can kuchikuba today, and then 2 years ahead you can't even afford to pay your own bills. So sustainability is key in everything, and these high-end clients are the only clients who can build sustainability in business. They are important because they pay for the value and they help you create more value. They are important because they give you freedom and less stress to run your operations because their processes are ideal, and they are also good because they open up for you a journey that will keep on and on. They are like an open door. They give you a recommendation, even if they don't keep buying from you, but they have already elevated you to somewhere that you now have the potential to also attract other people. It's like in employment. You work with one reputable organization and your CV is done, you'll never be the same again. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So if I may put it in employment, to be like I worked for a high-end company, because once you have worked there, you can never look back.
Exactly.
The same with these clients. You must attract a client who gives you your brand, your company, your profile, an elevation. And that's what I said, they are important because they put you at a certain level where now everything you do is sustainable. It attracts you to another and to another. But however, as we go ahead, it's not just as we talk about it, because as I said, the business is a mirror. You attract what you emit. So there are also standards that you must have as an SME to attract these high-end clients.
Now that you've talked about those standards, what are they? For example.
Yeah, they are quite wrong. But just to summarize it, as I said, every entrepreneur's dream is to have revenue, but to attract this revenue, there must be these steps that you must go through. And most people don't define it technically, but I'm trying to condense it a little, because when it comes technical, many people may not understand it.
Exactly.
But one is processes. I will explain. Systems and policies. Now, processes, every business, whether documented or not documented, even if you walked into a mama who sells tomatoes at a store, they have their internal processes. They know at what time do they get the tomatoes, they know where they get them from, they know how they stack them on that store so that you're attracted to buy on them. And they know, by the way, even how they package. When they are picking, you see there is a certain strategy they use. And this is something that really is so crucial. Outside you may not see it, but it's so crucial. You must have processes very well defined, that your business goes through these processes and you don't compromise on them. In big businesses like technical, engineering, the service businesses that are at the medium level, these processes are even documented. They will tell you, when you reach here, we go through this, we do this and we do that. And the moment you compromise with that, I'm using an example of a mama who sells tomatoes. The moment she misses to pick tomatoes from Nakasero at 6, that means that day she's not going to sell. She's going to open late. So those are processes. I'm just using that quick example. Those processes must be followed. And most of the entrepreneurs, whenever they have raised capital, opened up shop, then they start compromising on these processes. And it looks simple, but on a long term, the business starts going down because you missed on these processes. Now, these processes don't just work like that. They must work within a system. They must work within a system. And this system is, let's say if we look into business, it's financial, it's operational, it's also discipline based according to the entrepreneur.
Okay.
So if we look at the medium level of businesses, however much you have your processes very well organized, how do you get customers? Of course, you set marketing strategies, you go into the market, you advertise, you use word of mouth, all those are processes, you have them. But believe me, even if you have these processes that are enabling, you're not going to make business when you don't have a system that organizes these processes. So these systems to small businesses, micro businesses, it's always based on the entrepreneur's discipline. Because I'm using an example of a mama who sells tomatoes in the market. They may have not an accounting system, they may not have an operational system, but now it's their discipline to ensure the processes they have followed, they have the discipline to implement everything that is needed. Now to the high-end businesses, these are accounting systems, these are operational systems, these are partner systems, contract systems, like a whole system, everything, whether it's technical, tangible or not tangible, there must be a system designed internally how these processes can be implemented. Okay. And then when we talk of the policies as well, any economic and social environment across the world is governed either by spirituality or by the rule of law.
Yes.
You can't hack that. We have not reached a level where we say we create our own laws which are not natural or which are not created by the governments we operate with. And these policies are defined in two categories. One is the regulations, the regulatory compliance. And then the other side is the internal policies. I don't know if you've ever worked somewhere, and maybe, I don't know if you've ever done business, but anyone have ever done business somewhere, maybe you supplied something in an office, and they tell you our policy is 40 days. We can't pay you today. They have the money, but there is a policy, we pay in 40 days. Now these policies are to enable the other first two processes and systems to be audited. It's not bureaucracy, but they come from the other two. And it's what keeps these organizations growing and growing. So the internal policies are designed to enable your business keep growing, to enable balance the financials, to enable to rule the employees, to put a platform for your associates and other people who come in to have a standard they can follow, which doesn't compromise with the operations. Now the regulatory compliance is this which we don't negotiate with. We don't design it because it's an ecosystem we are operating in. Let's say you can't do a business without registration. You must have licenses of the place you're operating in. If you're in a regulated industry, you must also add on that regulatory license. You must file your taxes. You must know how the accounting principles of your business. Whichever industry, whichever line of work you're in, there are always regulations that govern your businesses. And these are also policies you must adhere to. Because believe me, 100% of the businesses you've seen fail have been because of compromising on policies, both regulatory policies and also the internal policies. If you're a founder and one day you wake up because you set a policy of saying, before we pay the money, someone must issue a receipt. And one day you just call your accountant, please pay. If anything happens again, now it will be you to blame because you compromise with that policy. So those three things must happen. I may use an example. Recently, the government of Uganda opened up the oil and gas sector.
Yes.
Though it's much a little politicized, but it's a huge industry. It's a huge industry. And most of these multinational companies that came to Uganda wouldn't find. You know, we have the local content policy where the government insisted that big businesses, most of this, the business in this industry must be taken up by locals. But the international firms which came in, whenever they want to work with local SMEs, they would find they don't have anything required. So they would ask, okay, tell us, you want to serve us food, that's fine, you're a catering company, we appreciate, it's okay, we'll take up your food, but please, take us through the process of making your food in the kitchen. And you know how we are used, you know, you don't have to ask me this question. People didn't have these processes. And this process, at some moment, they needed to be documented, they needed to be anything. So in small businesses, when you're transacting locally, you don't need to document, but they must be like governed by your discipline. But in the medium enterprises, these policies must be documented. I'm using the example of oil and gas. Most catering companies couldn't get business from oil and gas. And I'm talking of, by the way, multi-million businesses, because they didn't have processes. So they would say, okay, give us a plan of how your kitchen looks like. Where do you prepare pork from? Where do you prepare chicken from? How is the food transported from the kitchen? How does it come to the kitchen? How is your hygiene policies? Something they couldn't have. And because they didn't took this as most important. Same with policies. What is the policy of your chefs? What's the policy of stocking this food until it gets spoiled? What are the policies in managing this whole kitchen and food supply chain? And then later, when this would be done, I'm using this example of the oil and gas sector because it came as more structured than others. And when this was done, they would ask you, okay, tell us about yourself. Are you compliant with the laws? Are you disciplined as an entrepreneur? And when they say compliant, this is regulated. Do you have the licenses? Do you have everything needed as an entrepreneur? Are you operating legally, or you're doing a black business? Are you allowed to operate? Because as I said, spirituality and the rule of law governs us everywhere we go. So you must also adhere to it. Where is your discipline? Because the discipline now, the internal policies and the internal structures, now these are about your discipline. So basically those are a little technical, a little, we don't always talk about it this way, but these three things are most important for any SME to attract high-end clients. When you have these in place, then believe me, you have the capacity to be a mirror, to be something. You are meeting with the high-end clients that, hey, I'm here. And without hesitation, they will just click in.
Okay. So someone would really ask themselves, at what level do I now start to ascertain that these clients I have are now, and I mean, they are high-end clients?
The level is determined also by how you do. Once you've put these three things in position, you have your processes, which are a part of discipline and also structuring. Then you have systems which are running your businesses, and now you also have the policies which are enabling. Then there's something we always do, which is called a performance audit. Most companies here, I must testify that most companies don't do performance audits. Performance audits are about reviewing periodically how you're performing in both sectors of your life. Not only about the money, but also about the progress. Are you progressing performance-wise? Are you creating more impact? Are you creating a platform where sooner or later you're going to have more revenue? Or like it's an evaluation of your whole self, you as an entrepreneur and as a business. Now when you've seen that your policies, your processes and your systems are now very okay, you have created a pillar that is strong now. Automatically you don't have to struggle. Right? When these are in place, then you've automatically been elevated to reach a level where you can now attract high-end clients.
So at that level, whichever client comes in is considered as a high-level client?
Because it's like a filter. It's like a filter. Believe me, there is a place you can't go to and buy. You have specific places where you go and buy your shoes, where you buy your shirts, because that's the standard. You know someone who matches your standard. It's like automatically, it's like natural. Believe me, you wouldn't walk to eat food in a ghetto place where you know they compromise with the hygiene, because you've reached a standard where you now look for someone who matches your standard. So these are, once everywhere you drop your proposal, everyone who passes through your offices, your adverts, sees something, you already attracted them because you've built the other three major pillars which create your visibility. So the level is like, once you have these three in position, then automatically you have the capacity, you have the negotiating power to attract high-end clients.
Wow.
And the other low-end clients will automatically drop by themselves. Yes, automatically. Because they will not appreciate your value. They don't have the capacity to appreciate your value.
I thought that as you continue, as you move forward, you need both clients. But let's take a short commercial break. When we return, we shall pick it up from there.